welcome to the Crash Cast. I'm Car,
And I'm Kid.
and we're here with a special guest for today. Can you introduce yourself?
Merrick Habecker. Good evening and good night.
You didn't
Yeah.
need that much information, jeez. People
well-
can track you down now.
They have your social security number.
We can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you
Every
tell us your
guest
social
we get.
security number?
It's 6 9 6 9.
And go for the 420.
6969. All right, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Glad I came.
So our topic today is death.
Wow.
I know, great way to.
A little morbid.
The second episode, yeah, where we're really diving in there.
We're not like other podcasts. We're going to death on this second episode. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have the balls to do that.
Yeah, this is very unique operation you two have.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah. So first of all, are you scared of death?
No.
Be honest.
I am not. I do not fear death because I don't think anybody should. Death is the only thing that is a fact, Everything
It's
else
inevitable.
is... Yeah, it's inevitable. I do fear being, having my life not be substantial enough, like me being irrelevancy, like my meaning on this earth was nothing, So that's something that I fear. Death is not so much, everyone dies. And so many people have already died, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
matter who you are or what you are, you're gonna die. Eventually, you're gonna end up in wherever, the ocean.
Unless you're the Queen of England. Oh, my bad.
Nice.
Lies.
What about you, Cara?
The memes have ended.
Do I fear death? No. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. I mean, I guess I fear kind of having a painful death, I guess, But then again, I mean, like I wouldn't want to die by shooting myself in the head. I wouldn't want to die by, like, being stabbed.
How would you want to die? Let's all go around and see how we want to die after I say my piece on this.
Yeah.
I actually am afraid of death, but in the more like, I'm not afraid of death in the way that where I'm thinking about it and I'm afraid of it. The concept of death itself does not scare me.
Of
I'm,
just
I'm
it all
fine,
ending?
but like the primal fear of death is always going to be there for me. I mean, of course, I'm internally afraid of death just as like a defense mechanism. But when it comes down to it, I think when I get to a certain age, I'm gonna be able to accept it. I'm not right now. I can't accept it right now. I'm not gonna die.
Well, you could
to
die.
yet. Yeah,
I could kill you right now. And,
could
like,
kill you right
literally.
now.
You could.
Kill each other on the
But I would
podcast.
have no fear.
No, that's for the last episode.
So, you are afraid of death.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
Pussy.
Hey,
One who lacks fear is not truly living.
that's
Not
true.
sure about that one.
That's pretty true. I'm gonna be honest.
The only thing to fear is fear itself. Ever heard that one?
Who
Yeah,
said
and
that?
it's old and
Roosevelt.
outplayed. I'd like you to, really go into that, explain it, so you can show that you actually know what you're talking about there.
The only thing to fear is fear itself.
Mhm.
Just the idea of fear. To fear anything is, being afraid of everything,
Yeah.
So,
It's true.
So
do you have fear?
there should be no reason to have fear, Literally, we understand, in this modern world, we pretty much understand everything. I mean, practically. I wouldn't say everything, but, we understand that if I punch you right now, you're going to get hurt,
Yeah,
and
it's gonna
so,
hurt.
and that could happen anytime. We understand that somebody could walk into this room with a gun and shoot us all up, We understand that we could,
pretty
the
scary.
Chinese could bomb us at any given moment. But the majority of us, there's doomsayers, but the majority of us are just content with it. We go on with our daily lives.
Yeah.
We accept that a meteor could hit us at any point.
I want
We
that.
live with that.
I want a meteor hit. I want an asteroid to come down right now. I'd love to go like the dinosaurs right now, which they didn't really go at specifically just because of an asteroid. It was actually a long chain of events with a lot of geographical things and atmospheric things. Climate change and stuff played a really big role in it, so they were already kind of dying off. And there was already mass extinctions before that. Besides the meteors, there was just like general.
It was the Chinese. The Chinese got the
The
dinosaurs.
Chinese killed the dinosaurs.
Actually, the Chinese, Asia as a continent where they would have been back then was thriving with dinosaurs at the time,
Oh,
and
wow.
then they kind of died out. out. So
You wanna know why?
it's the Chinese
Chinese.
curve. Yeah.
Actually?
No conspiracy theory.
Dude.
Maybe. No, they had some great dromaeosaurs there. I'm jealous of them. They stole all
Huh.
the great dromaeosaurs. All we have here is like fucking Coparian and Utah raptor and shit. And it's like
Oh, dang.
I believe it's pronounced Utah.
Utah?
Utah.
I think it's pronounced "go fuck yourself," but yeah, okay.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Oh. No
The
filter.
dinos are dead, so
And you will be too. And that's the kind of
exactly.
back to the topic of the
Back to the
matter.
topic.
How would
How
you
do-
want
how
to
do you
die?
wanna die? Yeah.
How would you want to die? What would be like your ideal like?
In a
way to
glorious
die?
way. Because, like, you know, there's like everybody wants to die in a peaceful way. But
Yeah.
there's
No.
not,
Why?
you know, like you want to go to sleep and you want to die.
That
You know,
used
you
to
want to die at old age. You know, that's like
Yeah.
we're supposed to live life in the best possible way we can.
Yeah.
You know, and I would prefer to die in like, you know, I kind of believe in the like the Nordic thing of to get to Valhalla you have to like die in battle type thing. You know, like you know.
So you
in
want to die
glory.
like fighting and die.
Yeah,
serving.
rather die standing than on my knees, you know.
Yeah. That's pretty good. You know, that I would want to die that way as well. You know, like doing something good for humanity. But you know, I've always, ever since I was in like early middle school, I always just had this idea that was like, oh, it'd be really cool to die on my way to Czechoslovakia. I'm about to get on the plane.
Do you even know where Czechoslovakia is?
Yeah, I do.
Where is it?
It's in Up.
Okay,
No, it's in Europe.
it's an Up.
Europe.
The movie Up. It's an Up. It's a fictional spot, actually.
Good.
You would like to die in Up. Continue.
In Up. And so I'm outside the plane, and they turn the plane on without telling me as I'm about to get in, and I get sucked into the wind turbine.
But it's
Like-
Wait, so on your way into the airplane, you're not already in the airplane?
No, I'm outside of the airplane.
But, okay.
But I'm about to get on the plane to go to Czechoslovakia, but I'm outside the plane.
Is there gonna be a crowd? Are people gonna be watching?
you know those dudes with the, like, the you know, the light,
like the
lightsabers,
sticks?
you know?
Yeah, that like guide the plane.
Guide the planes, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Wouldn't you think that there would be like a big like mortality rate with that job if that was the fact, you know? You must be made of paper if you were to get Flat Stanley himself probably died in that same if the way that you're describing.
That's how Flat
You can-
Stanley
you should put on
died.
a really, really big long dress and then just have
Ooh.
it. That would be, you know,
It'll, like-
increase your chances a little bit, so you can make
Yeah.
it look more like an actor.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that you're planning this out, and it's gonna.
I have been for the
Okay.
past, like, what, 7 years? I don't know.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I haven't decided what age I'll be yet.
Yeah, going with the flow.
I
see
would
how
prefer to die around 102.
Oof, that'd be painful.
No,
I mean,
that'd
depending
be-
on how the medication is going for everything and how people.
I'm
are.
sure when we reach that age, you know, medical science
Yeah.
will be pretty
If we
damn
reach
good.
if we reach that age, I mean, look at the Earth right
Oh,
now. We're
yeah.
going downhill, so we might just die prematurely, kill ourselves off.
Yeah.
But
I don't think
knows?
that that's going to be our issue. I mean, like, I think that the majority of Americans are going to be pretty well off. It's going to be people like in Asia and Africa that aren't going to be doing so well.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause
South
the
America.
air.
Well, yeah, but like
But
we're a
here-
pretty functional country.
Yeah. I mean, here the air is pretty bad, too. And, like, just, like, overall, like,
I mean, we're in
Pollution.
the Pacific
the
Northwest. We're
temperatures
fine.
and the rising sea levels and such, a little concerning.
yeah.
Yeah, but we'll just
Extremes of weather, we're gonna have to adapt to that pretty fast.
Oh, God.
easy shit.
Easy shit?
Easy
Oh, yeah,
shit.
it's easy.
We're entering another hothouse period, which already happened back
God.
during the prehistoric times, and it's normal technically, but all we're really doing, like, we were already on the course to go
I
towards.
feel like
higher
I'm watching
growth and stuff.
Dinosaur Train right now, like live.
Do not insult Dinosaur Train in front of me.
Dinosaur train.
No, this is BBC Walking with Dinosaurs.
Yay.
We already entered a hothouse period, you know, millions of years ago and such. This is like normal for the Earth. It's a pattern that we have, but we're basically just speeding it up is the thing.
Oh, God.
You know, we were heading towards this, but now we're just going towards it faster. We could slow it down if we really
my
wanted to,
God.
and we put it together, but we're on our way. So
Well,
I don't think we're gonna go extinct.
You don't?
We will
No.
eventually. I mean, unless we somehow escape, but it's kind of inevitable.
Yeah, like
I don't know. We're
like-
gonna escape.
like the whole thing that's like,
Definitely gonna colonize
like-
other locations. There's no
like,
doubt about that.
would you go to Mars?
Yes, that'd be
Yeah.
the greatest honor a single human could have
I
for
don't think
humankind.
I'd want to go to Mars. I'd want to go somewhere else. I'd wait.
Yeah.
I'd hold off until they find a better planet, honestly. Because Mars is cool and all. It's shown signs of, like, older life and things like that. And, all those underwater reservoirs it has and shit. And that's cool. I might go there for the rovers, just to hang out with them. Just to hang out with some AIs and stuff. But
Oh yeah.
I'd wait for cooler, more, I don't know, just like a cooler planet with actual
I'm waiting
animals
for
and
Planet
stuff.
51, where it's like I arrive and it's
Love
like
that movie.
1954, and like
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like this big thing, and there's like the green milfs, like
Yeah, the
Can't
green
wait to see the
milfs with
green
the boobs.
with, like the 8 boobs and like the
Octo
The
boob.
corkscrews.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
corkscrews. Yeah. I personally, I don't think I'd want to like go to Mars, cause like yeah, that'd be cool, but why not just try and just at least try and fix what we're doing to the Earth before we already like, oh, screw this one, plan B, why don't we at least try and like this is our
It's kind of already
I
too
kinda-
late.
I'd want to
It's
go
our
on my
mother.
own planet so I could screw it. I
Well,
wanna
why
get-
can't we do
I want to
both?
take over Pluto. I
True.
want Pluto.
yeah.
Like NASA already
You know,
went to the
yeah,
moon.
actually, if
The only
we-
reason why we
we
went to the
can-
moon is because we had a competition with the Soviets to do it. If we had if the Chinese
right.
were to like go into the Mars, we'd be in full like game mode to go to
And I
Mars.
think a good thing that we need to do is just like decrease the population.
I wish COVID was better
100%.
effective to
No, I'm
kill all
just
the
saying.
idiots.
No, if
Dude,
we are going
same.
to go to other planets and stuff, decreasing the population on Earth would help a lot. just, like,
Honestly.
in that
Yeah.
sense. So,
Like
we
if
should have
just split out
another
some of them-
world war,
mm,
but just kill off all
Okay.
the Karyanas and
Two types of people in this world.
you're a Karyana or you're a normal person.
sweet.
It's okay.
Awesome.
We'll see you on the
Am I a
battlefield.
Karyana?
No. You're not a Karyana.
You're an honorary Karyana.
Do you
Honor,
want?
honor.
Do you want to be a
A
Karyana?
little bit. Karyanas are pretty cool, pretty funny, pretty wacky.
Sick. Yeah, you don't think so.
No. Not at all.
There's 2 types of people in this world. There's Merricks and there's Karyanas, and then there's kids. That's like the third. like,
So there's 3 people,
that's like the
Organ
other
math is
It's the
option.
one that everyone forgets about.
It's like you're also there. You're like the
They
smallest.
leave me
like-
behind. They forget about me.
It's like-
they think
it's
I'm
like-
stupid.
No.
Think I'm dumb. Think I'm not worth anything.
No,
I'll
no.
never make an impact. No.
You're like the. It's like the different like. It's like there's
I'm
Democrat,
beyond-
Republican, and then there's like Silver
the
Party.
independent party.
Yeah,
Silver.
Well, yeah, I retook a political ideology test a little bit.
a
I thought we were
political
gonna-
ideology
I thought
test.
we were gonna talk about that.
Oh, do we want to get into that? Go from death to political ideologies.
What
Trying
did you
to
get?
Connect the two. Yeah, what
I got near centralist, but almost left-leaning libertarian. It's like in the corner.
I usually get like authoritarian left, but now I'm sure it's a little more
there.
authoritarian center.
I haven't taken.
Oh, well,
mine.
it's the things, those don't really ask, because they would have to ask you literally every political question for it to, accurately get you
Yeah.
that. They only have, a select few, and so based off that, yeah, you could be that, but if everything, you could be completely something else, you know? I believe in, a firm, strong government taking charge and doing what has to be done, you know? And then there's somebody that believes in everybody should live their own fucking life and fuck off with any form of civilized, structure.
Oh yeah.
You got anarchists and then you got fascists,
Yeah.
And
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like nowadays, in order to, because more control means more, as I say a lot, stability. And we need a lot of stability now if we want to get stuff done,
Yeah.
like what we said, we got a lot of work if we're going to save this blue
yeah.
earth of ours.
We have a lot of work to
Blue
do.
beauty.
This blue,
Blue beauty. This mother.
voluptuous
Mother.
beauty.
Succulent planet. Well, it's not gonna dry right now.
Oh, Terra.
Terra? Who's Terra?
That's Latin for Earth.
Oh, Terra.
Yeah, what was the original planets that collided to create Earth again? It was Thea.
It was
and
Obunga and Thea.
Obamasphere.
Obamasphere.
That was the atmosphere when Obunga was in charge.
The Obunga sphere.
I yearn for the Obunga days.
That's such a stupid.
The good old days. The Obunga days. There was the Ice Age, there was the meltdown.
Pleistocene.
There was the prehistoric age, the medieval ages, and there was the Obunga
The
age.
Ordovician, the Precambrian, the
Renaissance.
Silurian, the Devonian. Sorry.
How would you want to die?
Sighs wistfully. I would want to. Okay, originally when I was younger, I wanted to die by a dinosaur. I wanted them to come back and then just eat me alive.
Just bring him back.
Just bring back an Allosaurus
Make
or
a
two.
comeback.
Yeah.
Sequel.
I wanted to tame them first though, so I'd get a little bit of that action of being able to ride a dinosaur and stuff and run around and kill people and stuff. And then they turn on me when we get lost one day in the woods and we can't really find enough substantial food for them, so they just turn on me and they kill me.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty cool. Betrayal as my last arc, yes, 100% would really wrap things up for me well.
What type of dinosaur would you want to kill you?
Allosaurus. Allosaurus, Jim, had Seni, not Fredulus. I hate Fredulus.
Okay.
No one's gonna understand that.
I know the big one.
There are.
The big one.
Well, are you
Same.
talking sauropods or theropods?
I'm talking your mama pod. Oh.
Get out right now.
My mom is almost shorter than me.
It's little.
It's a little, Mom. It's a little.
Your mom's so tiny.
Over the years, it progressed from that to being I want to die in my sleep. It was that for a while. Or just I was young and
That's what most people want. 'cause
Young
that's
and
the easiest-
stupid.
It's the peaceful
It's
way, you
yeah.
know? You don't want to...
I wanted to take sleeping. I
There's
wanted
no
to overdose on
pain.
sleeping pills and then die in my sleep. That's what I was
Just
planning to
eat
do.
a whole
I was
thing of
I was
melatonin
partially
gummies.
suicidal when I was younger, and I was like,
Oh, dude.
how can I do this? But it wasn't really in a way that I hated myself. I wasn't depressed when I was younger. I was extremely extroverted, and everyone loved me, and I loved myself. I was an egomaniac, 100%.
Oh, nice.
But I wanted to die just because I wanted to see what it felt like. It was that kind of thing where I was just wondering,
What does it
death
feel
is
like
so
to die?
interesting. I kind of just
Yeah.
want to do it because once it's done, then it's done.
That's
I can't
what
really regret it.
yeah.
It's just death.
All the
so
cool
I wanted
kids
to
are
do
dying.
that because it's like it would circulate in my head and I wanted to do that. But
Hop on the death bandwagon.
it moved on from that to I wanted to jump off a cliff at night, specifically at night. It went to me being completely alone in the forest, and I wanted to jump off a cliff at night and then just plummet to my death, and but have enough room to think while I was going down, so I could just be panicking, but then completely alone, and then die in the woods.
That's like in the one,
dude.
the Men in Black movie when he goes back in time and he's falling off the building and he looks to his right and it's this 1920s stockbroker hey,
I hope that happens. Yeah.
and then he goes through into one of your ages of
If I-
dinos.
If I try to kill myself and I just get sent back somewhere, I'm gonna be pissed. I don't want
You're
My-
immediately resurrected as
just
I
wake
don't
up and
know.
be oh, freak. Oh damn. I'm
Well,
back
if you're
here.
good, the Hindus believe that you'll be a cow.
Really?
Well, that's what the
Fair.
Indians believe.
Um,
That's why in India, cows are a sacred animal, and they walk just on the street, and you're not
yeah.
allowed to touch them. That's why most vegetarians are in India.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the Muslims believe, but I know us Catholics, we believe in the heaven and hell craziness.
I don't know what I believe in when it comes to death. I mean, I kind of believe in resurrection, past lives and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's a cool
all,
concept.
yeah.
That's-
The
I-
reincarnation is a good idea.
Yeah.
Just the
Reincarnation is
idea of it.
cool.
Yeah, reincarnation, not resurrection. Shit.
Reincarnation, I think, would make the most sense in a way, almost if we look at the patterns of the
yeah.
world and things restarting and things like that. I think
Yeah.
it makes sense, but it's not necessarily that fun as other certain ideas. I think the Pastafarians have it kind of going.
Dude,
and,
the
Greek gods and shit
Pastafarians.
are
Oh my god.
Yeah, you go to a fucking Elysium.
When you die, you go to Olive Garden. Yeah.
oh, unending breadsticks. Yes, please.
That's their version of heaven.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, it went to cliff, and then it went to. I'd have like a skydiving accident. It was like it wasn't a skydiving accident. It would be a wingsuit accident where I put on a wingsuit and I get up in a plane, then I just like go head first into a giant like
Building.
rock wall.
Oh,
No,
rock
it'd be
wall.
a rock wall. I'd paint myself on like a cliff face for all
It'd
the
be just
people
like
to
your
see.
shape in blood. It's
I
like
want
a,
people to be like. I want there to be a crowd though where they're like cheering. Like,
instead of
that'd
like
be
a
cool.
U-shaped hole in the wall, it's just like a blood splatter of
yeah,
you.
but it's an exclamation point.
I feel like yours would be a comma.
Mine would.
Yeah.
I love commas. I literally love commas. I use them all the time.
I think the Oxford comma should be.
It should be just a part of.
Required.
Yeah, it should be just a
Yeah.
part of the
It
English
pisses
language.
me off when it's
I would
not
be like,
there. I need it.
Yeah, it
It's
makes
my
no
support
sense.
comma.
Because it pairs the last two things together. And it's like, are those, like, they're paired together, then yeah, don't put a comma. But it makes it seem like they're paired together, even if they're not.
Yeah.
I fucking love the Oxford comma. I'm president of the Oxford comma fan club.
It's just begun.
I want to join.
Yeah,
I love the Oxford
yeah, you
comma.
can join.
I'm gonna write a fan fiction
Yeah.
about the Oxford comma. It's me.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay.
Wattpod.
What?
No,
Pod.
Wattpad is terrible. Go on AO3. Just,
AO3,
AO3
4chan,
Oh.
Tumblr.
4chan.
I'm sorry.
That's where the bronies reside.
Mm.
But yeah, right
Yeah.
now I think it is kind of I'd be fine with the wingsuit thing, but honestly, I kind of want to be killed by an AI at this point, like just an awesome robot. I want an
Or, you
awesome
know,
robot to kill me.
a car just runs into you.
If it's an AI powered car, a car
Can
that's
Tesla-
sentient.
A Tesla.
If a Tesla kills me,
self-driving Tesla.
that would be kind of
That
funny.
would be pretty. Yeah.
Be pretty cool as long as Elon isn't the one controlling it. Technically,
Oh yeah.
I'd be fine
Elon.
with that.
Elon controls all the Teslas, like
Yeah,
when they're
yeah,
self.
he's
he
got a
sits in
remote.
he sits in his room like this. Going,
No.
he runs
Like-
into people.
It's like a VR where he's like doing it, like the motion.
Just like switches from each one.
He's the one driving
He's
the
the
car.
mastermind behind everything.
Yeah, and every time he switches,
He is
the
an
other the
INTJ,
car that he
so-
was like previously
Isn't he
on
an
completely
INTJ?
loses control.
I'm gonna check personality database to see if he's an INTJ. I'm pretty sure he is, which I hate. We would not get along. He
Yeah,
is.
Oh my
he's
God.
an
He's a
I-
5W6 too.
Yeah.
Oh, we would hate each other.
This is like your little astrology nonsense.
Yeah, he doesn't like astrology, and he
I don't-
doesn't like
I don't
MBTI either.
No,
That's fair.
Yeah, he's like
you are what you are.
yeah, he's kind of like
You can't classify someone based off some ridiculous nonsense.
I mean, you can, but okay.
Well, you can, but if you want to do that, then anybody get to do that, and then you got like that's what causes this unification and prejudice. You know, you just said you hated ISTJs. You know that causes like
No,
if that were to go to its extreme,
I hate
we're gonna put
INTJs.
ISTJs in concentration camps.
No, I like ISTJs. I hate INTJs, and I like ENTJs.
Must gas Elon Musk because he's not ISTJ.
I'm down with that.
gas Elon
No,
Musk.
he's an
Let's just
INTJ.
gas him anyway.
Just gas him anyway.
I don't care what you are. I'm killing you right now.
You will take the mustard gas.
Like
You
imagine.
will like it.
Imagine if you're like a MBTI like driven serial killer.
No, they told. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
probably that's real.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me.
Like I plan to wipe off all of the
INFPs.
INFPs
I
off
hate
the
the
face of the earth.
Yeah,
Every ENFJ gone.
I'm
don't know.
fine with ENFJs actually. Most of the ones that I've met, they've been cool.
I think you're one.
Shut up.
An ENFJ.
Wait, I have it written down somewhere.
I'm
I
pretty
did it
sure
twice
he's
and
an
it did it
ISTJ.
2 different answers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
but I
have
think
to
the
take it off.
first
And it's-
one might have been.
The MBTI is always subject to change and stuff. It
Well,
really
yeah,
is
'cause
more
ridiculous
than what it was
nonsense.
before.
Well, I feel like the first one's more accurate. The second one that you took was the one that
Enneagram.
Enneagram.
Enneagram is kills me.
I like the Enneagrams because it's so accurate to me.
MBTI
Such a-
is like very.
yeah.
It's like a skeletal structure. Enneagram
Yeah.
is like the organs and such.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, I've been an INTJ for years. That's what I've been typed as.
yeah. You're an ENFJ when you took the
Some people are just more fluid.
the Myers-Briggs test, the like the common one,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
then a
the
couple
Untrustworthy one.
yeah, and then a couple weeks ago in our they had us Were you there when they had us in our colloquiums take like this like personality quiz?
I'm pretty sure they did, or I came in late or something, and then I said I already know it. I don't need to take it.
Yeah, they gave you
Wait,
a
It's an ambiance. You got to.
It was on.
I think I did it already. Then.
I
did
didn't
it when
do
I
the
was
last
home
one.
or something.
Yeah, and then it like gave you a Myers Briggs type, and
Yeah.
yours was ISTJ
Okay.
on that one,
know
and
that.
So
mine.
you're a little less creative than me. That's fair.
Yeah, and mine went from INFJ to ENFJ. And I was like, what the fuck? No, I
Wait,
don't believe
what?
in this.
It went from INFJ to ENFJ. You became an extrovert, or were you?
I don't know. I guess like
Fair
when
enough.
I took the like this other quiz, I don't know. I trust that one a little less because every question it was either like black and white, like it would only give you two
Yeah.
options. So it's either
I took a lot of them to find out mine. I've taken many of them, and also I didn't just completely rely on tests. I also went over like actual descriptions of certain things and what it actually meant, and like did my own research.
oh yeah,
So
that's
I
how you
wouldn't-
do
Well,
it.
all
You
this
don't
stuff
know
is you
that
get to
stuff.
pick it yourself, you know? Like,
No,
they give
you-
you a basic summary, but you literally pick it. It's literally your own fate, you know? And then they can just draw draw stuff. from
Introvert versus extrovert is pretty clear cut, though. I
Not
think.
really, because, you know, Car, for someone like, I don't want to speak for you, Car, but you are literally both. You can literally be the most extroverted person and then be the most introverted person.
No,
I
but-
could be, I usually, I hate talking to new people, but the people that I know and love, you know, I'll, you know, be out there with them and I'll do stuff with them. Like,
Yeah.
but I won't go out of my way to do, you know, like if I, you know, all the basic questions. If you're at a party, will you go, you know, be the first person to be
It was
there?
like one of
But
those. It was like, it was like, oh, do you have a lot of friends and you talk to everybody? Or do you have no friends and prefer to stay
that's
home?
just very general, like
Yeah,
stuff like that.
It was
But
a
I
little
think
too general, yeah.
And that
it's more
changes
like
over time too, because my Morgan he was very extroverted. Now he's very introverted.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
and like,
I
how do
was
you
a
define that too?
I was a complete extrovert when I was younger.
Yeah.
I hated introverts actually. I hated nerds and people that I viewed as like less than me. I hated people with glasses. I hated people with blue eyes. I hated people with blonde hair.
God, this is
Yeah.
It's
not-
okay. We hate you too. It's all right.
Well, I like you now. I changed. I flopped sides like completely. I switched. Something happened to me. I became an introvert. And I know that I
Kid
definitely
hates Aryans.
Oh shit.
No, but when I was younger, I was super extroverted. I needed to be around people all the time. I needed to be
Oh,
talking
God.
to people. I fed off of their energy and stuff. I needed
Yeah.
to just be, with people and stuff. I couldn't be like, I could be alone, but I didn't necessarily like it as much. I needed, like, I'd
Yeah.
get tired after a while. And then it
Yeah.
flopped, and now I need to be alone sometimes, or most of the time, actually. Like, I can be energetic with people and stuff, but it drains me so fast that, like, it takes a very specific type of person to make me actually want to keep going with stuff. And even after that time, I'm just like, oh, jeez, I can't keep going.
Yeah,
And then I need days
I get that.
to recharge and stuff. And that's like introverted stuff. I'm
Yeah,
predominantly
it's like-
introverted.
It's like
Not-
how good is your social battery?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's
I
more the
guess, like,
question you should be asking.
Yeah, it's like like how like if you're hanging out with people, like
How fast you want to run away.
yeah.
Well, I could literally hang out
Shut
with
guys.
one person for like an entire day, but at the
Yeah.
end of it,
Jeez.
you know,
Yeah.
like, because I do that all the time. But there will also be days where I want to just hang out by myself. But then, like, you know, for most time, like when it's just me and like it's either a weekend or it's like a snow day or something,
Yeah.
I will feel like kind of like lazy if I don't do anything that like improves me. Like, you know, the main
Oh,
thing, like
yeah.
as long as I'm doing something that makes me better than I was yesterday, then that's fine. You know, like going on a run, working out, or reading a book. Even reading a book, you know, as long it has to be like a, you know, an improving book, like an intellectual book.
Yeah, not like
Instead of-
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
Actually, Diary of a Wimpy Kid really improves me.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure it does.
I'm an
Yeah.
escapism type person, and
Oh, yeah.
but I use like a creative kind of thing to go into that. So I like if I if I'm away from people, I'm writing or drawing or playing a certain video game that's having me like world build and stuff like that. So I need that kind of like creative thing, and it's all just servicing me. I usually don't show people a lot of the stuff that I create. I'll get rid of it, and sometimes when I do, I post it and I'm like, never mind, this looks like shit to other people. It's always the people that are ruining my favorite things for me. I need to be alone with my stuff so I can appreciate it more. So yeah, that's my take on that kind of stuff, on being alone.
That's why I don't really post things, you know, because I just don't really care for people's opinions on the stuff anymore. Because, you know, everybody is so opinionated nowadays, you know. Everybody has to have a viewpoint on everything, you know. You can't just be content with somebody else's idea, you know. Like, if somebody were to come in and say, you know, I'm a big Republican, you know, and somebody else would come in, I'm a big Democrat. And like literally 5 seconds ago, they were just quiet, you know. Like it's just the fact that that one person said something that somebody else had to say something, you know.
Yeah.
And so like if I post something that like I'm interested in, then somebody else is going to immediately respond, and it's happened, and just say that my opinion was invalid or, you know, it was worthless.
That's also how you're supposed to find people to connect with. I mean, that's the whole point of social media and stuff, is like showing yourself so that you connect with other people. Because when I do post my stuff, I try to aim to like get to at least some sort of audience where someone's going to be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I also like that thing. I'm like, oh, cool. It's just, it's making small social connections and also getting some sort of level of praise, because I do like that deep down. But I'm terrified of failure in the eyes of people.
Yeah.
And that, you want to go into how we view like failures and stuff? I do kind of want to go into that. How we deal with failure.
Yeah. How do you deal with failure? Do you like...
I don't want to go first.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Well, growing up, my, I really couldn't handle failure. Failure at all was not tolerable, you know, and that's why I think I was very emotional as a child, because anytime I, like, sucked at something or wasn't good enough at something, I'd be like sobbing, or I'd be super pissed off. And like a great example would be like anytime I do like some sort of sport with my dad or with my brother, you know, if I didn't like get a strike in say bowling, you know, I'd be fucking sobbing and I'll be like pissed, you know, and like I just like couldn't handle it. And it took me like I had to find like inspirations like of people that had failed and still went through life and became great, you know. Like, you know, like, I'm literally in that phase where I'm still in that phase of who I'm trying to figure, like, out who I am and who I'm trying to base myself off of. And I'm picking, you know, great historical, real and fictional people, you know, like you got Odysseus and Hercules and great people that, like, went through trials, lost everything and come back, you know, with greatness and glory behind them. You know? And so failure, I don't think it should be encouraged. But I don't think it should be really, you know, like you shouldn't beat yourself up over it. Like you should understand why you failed, and then you should move on, you know. Like just don't be as emotional. But I don't encourage people like I don't believe in all the participation awards, you know. And all that.
Yes.
Me
You know,
neither.
like
I have
fucking
a lot to say
give
about
everybody a
participation
trophy over literally nothing. There's always a winner, and there's always a loser. There's always number one, and there's always number two. And that's never going to change. And that just encouraging that, I think, is, you know, failure in itself, because you're breeding a weaker people.
Yeah. Like you know, like participation awards and stuff. Like if you're giving out awards for people who are just showed up and didn't do anything, then that just
paying a discredit to the people who actually tried, who actually put in the effort. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah, and you know, like if you, like I feel like say a kid gets an F in a class, you know, like the kid shouldn't be like 100% like punished, but the kid shouldn't be told like, oh, it's okay. It's okay next time, you know, because then that's going to make it easier for the kid to fail even more, and they're going to think about it less, and they're going to be more likely to keep failing, you know, like that's the thing, is like what you were saying, like understand why you failed and then think, okay, won't do that anymore, moving on.
And there's also
time to better myself.
There's an opposite end of that too, where it's constantly praising a kid who is succeeding can also end up being kind of bad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard, okay, so I
Yeah,
heard this
that too.
thing that,
Yeah.
like, these researchers, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but these researchers had kids. They had two kids, two sons.
Yeah.
They named one winner and one loser. And loser came out, and, he succeeded in everything.
The
He
kid
got
named
all
Winner?
A's, yeah.
Yeah.
Loser was, like, valedictorian and went off and did great stuff. Winner was just such a slacker. He was, like, some schmo,
Oh, yeah.
at the end. And it's that, like, you have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself. And the only way to do that is through success. You can't fail, Otherwise, then what's the point of living if you don't, win,
True. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be irrelevant. That's my biggest fear. It's not death itself. It's irrelevancy. And irrelevancy is very much connected with, failure.
Yeah.
You know?
But I do feel like failure is important because that's how you learn.
Well, yeah.
You
Unless
know?
you're a complete autodidact.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, that's how you learn, like, what
Well,
not
with
to.
most stuff,
we,
like, we like I said,
Failure
we
is
know a
as
lot of stuff
inevitable as
already. There should be no reason why you should fail. Like, there's tutorials for pretty much everything nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why I hate humans. Human error. Annoying self.
We've been so dumbed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, how I deal with failure.
Unfortunate.
Basically, exact same thing as you when I was younger. I succeeded a lot. I was a winner. I was by
One of
every
those
definition.
kids.
I ran track and shit. I would constantly challenge people to arm wrestle me and fight me and stuff. I was an aggressive kid. I would just attack people actually unannounced too. I'd constantly get in trouble for jumping on people and like attacking them.
Spider monkey.
But I never really
like
got
a
in trouble.
fucking,
And people always let me off and said, no, it's fine actually, because he's such a good student and things like that. It doesn't really matter. And I ran track.
So-
I got all these like
oh.
first places and shit like
You were
that.
just,
the
like,
class
validated.
1 a-hole.
No, yeah, I was. Everyone loved me for some reason still though.
So just like you would get away with
Everybody
I
it.
did away
was
with
like,
everything. Yeah, I was the teacher's pet too.
Beat him up. Like you get in a fight and all
yeah.
the teachers are like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was the teacher's pet for sure. One kid like didn't want to share his pizza with me, and a teacher came out and told me like forced him to share his pizza with me one day, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. And I'd like steal people's food. I was off the rails. I didn't understand that I couldn't lose and stuff, or that I would get in trouble because I was like praised so much, and my parents never really reprimanded me because I never really did anything too wrong, and I was such like an easy kid for them because I was so independent as well. I didn't rely on them. But then eventually I started like slowly becoming more self-aware because the thing is I didn't have any empathy or sympathy. I didn't care about anyone. I did not realize that other people were real and like had feelings.
like,
People are real. I thought this was a simulation.
Yeah, for a good while I just thought it was me. The world was me.
Me, myself, and I.
Everyone else was around
Yeah,
to serve me.
yeah.
And it was insane because like once that finally broke for me, I just became an anxious piece of shit that like oh fuck, everyone is looking at me constantly, judging me, and what if I
Let me guess. That hit around, let's say, middle school.
Yes, sixth, about like the
Sounds good.
edge of
Lucky
sixth
guess.
grade. Edge of sixth grade, everything just like
Yeah,
crumbled
going
for me.
into
Everything goes to
middle
hell at
school.
middle school.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
what anybody says.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
it does.
Like
That's
without
when
a
It's
doubt.
the beginning of your phase of like you've lost your childhood innocence, and now you're
Oh, yeah.
beginning to understand that the world around you is against you.
Yep,
you
that's
know.
Or
it. The,
really,
the
not even against it, but
becoming
just doesn't care about
self-aware.
you.
Yeah, just like
Um,
becoming self-aware.
Yeah,
And just like, you know,
self-awareness was insane for
You
me.
gain insecurity.
But
and, like,
when that hit, any time that I lost, I would sob and stuff. Like I hated myself.
Crying.
Yeah, I was so
Yeah.
mad at myself, and I'd like take out my anger on myself all the time. I would like claw at myself and stuff, and just like tense my entire body until I was like passed out from how tired I was from just like
Yeah.
straining myself because I was so mad. I didn't know how to deal with it, and my parents didn't either because like they just thought oh it's tantrums and stuff. But like it was an immense self-hatred that I didn't know how to deal with, and no one helped me with it. So I kind of just ended up creating this anxiety for myself from then on, where I started slowly pulling back
Exactly
more and more.
that.
Yeah. I started pulling back more and more from doing things. I was less of an extrovert because I was so afraid of failure at that point.
Yeah.
And I just no longer wanted to feel bad like that. and stuff, because it didn't feel worth it anymore. You know, the success I got was great and all, like I felt good when I won, but the pain from losing was so much worse. So I was just like, you know what, not worth it anymore. And I just stopped trying for a while. And that's why like my grades fell a bunch. Like ultimately, I was just like borderline an F student. Like I had terrible GPA and stuff, and I was like isolated and things like that. And then something kind of clicked for me all of a sudden. I was like, I just decided like, you know what, nah, not anymore. Like
Yeah.
I still definitely have the anxiety. I developed an anxiety disorder, so it's not something I can really get rid of anymore unless I take meds. But
Yeah. It is what it is.
but now I'm able to actually organize myself more, so I can still reach successes. I still have that imposter syndrome kind of thing going on, but I still
Get out.
Among Us.
Leave.
Sorry. That hit game.
That is a
game
forbidden
Among
word
Us.
in this studio.
Suspicious.
There's the door.
But I
Sorry, continue.
I
Did
can
I just get
succeed
aborted?
now. I can
Yes.
succeed now, and feel good about it and stuff, and be able to put myself out there a bit more. But it comes down more to like I can deal with stuff intellectually a little bit better. Where if it's
Yeah.
writing assignments and things like that, it's more comfortable for me because I've spent so long alone within my own head preparing myself for that, which is such a Enneagram 5 type of thing to do. It's the physical stuff that's got me on hold now because for multiple reasons, I definitely am inadequate physically. So it's like I can't just participate in sports and things like that because I want to. I've done a bunch of sports, but I
Just do golf. You don't need to be fit for that. I mean,
I
kind
do
of,
golf.
but,
Yeah.
I feel no. If I'm gonna go into a
Just
sport though,
walking.
I'd want to do a contact sport. I'd want to go into like rugby or something.
You tie a guy hit rugby.
I know, and that's what pisses me off because I wanted to be like a wrestler and
Wrestling,
stuff.
yeah.
And yeah, I did enjoy wrestling. I
Well,
still.
you still have a chance, you know. You could
Yeah.
bulk up and work
I know.
out, you know. That's literally the one thing you can change. I mean, you can change yourself. Not a lot of people
It's
can.
the easiest thing
but
to change
yeah,
in the end.
just eat
Yeah.
more, work out more,
No, but the thing is,
put in the effort.
if I
Yeah.
could, I would. But there's another complication that happened during that time of just like leaving the whole social climate and everything. I developed a stomach disease that doesn't allow me to eat as much as I could anymore. Like
Yeah.
I can't eat stuff.
Like I remember
Smoothies. Protein smoothies.
protein smoothies.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Would
tried
you?
them, and sometimes it gets difficult to do that on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
bet. It's like feeding
if I-
tube.
Yeah, if I eat something too consistently for too long, my body starts rejecting it for some
Yeah,
reason too.
you
'cause, like,
just
it
start
gets,
to hate it. You
Yeah.
get sick of it.
I
That's
had to
everybody,
take-
you know.
I had to
Yeah.
take I had
You
to
know, if
take
I eat
one
too many
medication.
carrots, I'm gonna hate carrots. If I eat too many Doritos, I'm gonna hate Doritos.
I had to chug 3
Mm.
bottles of Gatorade within 3 hours, which is a lot for me.
Oh, I
Because I
remember
had to
that.
take medication for
Yeah.
it, and I can't drink Gatorade anymore. Full
Yeah.
on. It was terrible. I hated it so
Yeah.
much. And I wasn't allowed to eat anything else or drink anything else besides like I had to have Otter Pops as food.
I
I
hate
remember-
Otter Pops.
You hate Otter Pops?
I really don't like.
I still
Yeah.
like Otter Pops, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, failure for me is I really just have to judge if aiming for the victory is worth what it might cost to fail. But if I know that I can probably like most likely secure the victory, I'll go for it. I'll like if I have like a 70 to 80% chance of winning, I'll try my best to get there. But I usually play it safe is my thing with it now. Because I
Alright.
still hate myself when I lose. It's like math is the bane of my existence because I have doubted myself for so long, even since the beginning with that, because early on I didn't care about it, so I always didn't, you had to think about that, and I just didn't want to when I was younger, so I didn't learn it correctly, because I just felt like, no, I'm too good for this. And now I'm
too
paying
cool
for
for
it.
math. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, just inferiority complex versus a superiority complex, which is like it's battling each other. It's really fun.
Oh dang!
What
So you
about
got like
you?
the best of both
Oh
worlds.
yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah. Failure. I mean, like as a kid, I failed all the time. You know, like I I just didn't care. I just didn't care when I failed. You know, like I just didn't care at all. And then when I got to middle school, I started caring a lot more about it, and I started trying to like get away from failure and like avoid failure because I full on thought it was embarrassing, like to fail. Like I was literally like, you know, every time I failed, like I would think like, oh, this is really embarrassing. Like I just have always feared, I guess, you know, if I fear anything, it's embarrassment and judgment
And that's all based around other people's perception for you?
yeah, and
Okay.
also me because, you know, I guess like all throughout my life, you know, like, okay, this is going to sound really bad, but I've always been kind of deep down internally a really judgmental person. So I'll just think like, oh, if I'm judging somebody about that, then other people are probably judging me for that. You know, like if
I'm judging.
I know you're judging.
I'm very
You're
judging.
always judging.
I'm very judging.
Yeah, like you know, like if somebody else did something and I was like, oh, that's
What was
weird.
that Rick and Morty thing with the giant heads? It's like, loser, failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess I kind of stemmed it off of
The Talking Heads.
yeah.
It's a great band.
Oh yeah, the band too.
You know, like if people didn't openly judge things and have bad opinions about things, then I would just base it off of like my own, you know, like if I judge somebody on something, then I would assume that other people are judging me about that. Like if somebody trips and falls and I'm like, nerd, you know, then I'm just gonna assume that if I trip and fall, people are gonna be like, nerd, you know.
I will say that anyway, to you only.
Yeah. And so then I just like in middle school, I just started realizing and being like, oh shit, this is embarrassing. So then I stopped doing it and I started actually like trying to get away from failure, like in anything. And now if I fail, I don't share it with anybody unless it's something that's not like huge or if it's funny. Like if I think it's funny to fail at something,
you're kind of flipping it on its side then.
yeah.
Yeah, you're changing.
Then
it,
I
and
just stopped
that
caring.
technically is a victory.
Cause I'm like, that's funny. I fucking failed. That's hilarious. You know, unless it's something that's like actually like, you know, like if I judge myself and I beat myself up for it, then I don't share it with anybody, because I don't want, you know, cause it's that same like fear of judgment and embarrassment of somebody thinking like, oh, you failed.
Yeah.
You fail at things.
How dare you fail?
Yeah, how dare you?
I get that.
That's not okay.
For sure. I also I think when I fail, it is more internal. Like I'm judging myself more than anyone, and that's like that goes for everything. But it's more like my self-worth drops every time I fail. Like every time I fail, it discredits every good and worthwhile thing I've ever done in my entire life. That is my view of what happens when I fail.
Yeah.
Which is very harsh, but
Yeah.
it's real for me for some reason. It's terrible, but I don't know how to get myself out of it. It's very funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you guys want your funerals to go? Like, is there anything specific that you would want at your funeral?
I want to be hung from a ceiling and just spun around. I still just think that's really funny. It's like classic
And
humor.
beat like a piñata until candy comes out of you.
Piñata.
A piñata. A penete.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the children beat you with bats.
Okay, no, wait. Actually, I want my funeral to I mean, I know how I want my body to be handled when it comes to the funeral. I want my body to be put in like kind of in the ground, but then have a seed, like a plant, like a tree seed planted in it, like a miniature sapling and stuff. So then when it grows, it absorbs my body and my skeleton gets
is
trapped
that the
in.
fucking? I don't think that works.
I want it to work. I want them to make it work.
Kit
There's a
believes
thing.
it'll work, so it'll work.
My
Anything's
cousin
possible.
wanted that. She is like the
Did she
the
die?
pods, the death pods.
Did she die?
Oh, yeah,
She did
those
not die.
things.
Oh.
But like I guess the idea is that the
She
body
gonna
is
try
supposed to
and
give
make it
nutrients
happen?
to the tree, but from what I heard, the body doesn't give enough nutrients to the tree, and the tree just fucking dies.
Then I'd put more nutrients in my stuff. I'd have them stuff nutrients into my chest with the tree. I just want to have a skeleton in a tree, honestly, because I think that's cool. I want someone to cut it down one
We'll
day.
just throw
and then
you
just
in
have,
a
like,
log. How
skeleton
about that?
in
Just throw you in a log.
there. Okay, no, wait, yeah, actually.
And then when
I
the
wanna
Boy
do
Scouts come walking by and sit on
jump
the
out.
log, you jump out and get them.
There's a tripwire.
There's a tripwire. The skeleton comes pulled
The
out.
skeleton comes. That actually sounds like a great book title.
The skeleton comes. Smut edition.
Yeah, there's gonna be 2 editions.
There's horror and then there is smut.
The smut horror.
There's
That'd
both,
be really
yes.
cool. Yeah. There's 3 editions.
Necrophilia.
What'd you say?
Necrophilia.
Necrophilia?
I bet some people are really attracted to skeletons. So that'd be fine if
Interesting.
people.
You
were
wait.
attracted to a skeleton.
You're telling me they get boners?
Bone or
Bone
Ah,
hers.
that's funny. We put in a
What?
slap track in there.
No, that's not a eureka moment.
Not a urethra moment.
Not a urethra moment.
Ah, damn. We need a urethra moment.
Give me a urethra moment.
I would have I want my perfect funeral
Mm-hmm.
would be just only my closest of comrades, you know.
I don't really
And,
want
like,
a bunch of people.
I would want
Can't be
I want to be what's it called?
Cremated?
Cremated, yes. But I want it in I want it in a way where I'm lit on fire. And my perfect way is my brother has a torch and I'm on a pyre. Or I'm on a boat and it's being shipped off and somebody
Shoots it.
shoots an arrow.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I want the gold coins on my eyes.
It's your
to
brother.
pay the ferryman, you know, when I
Yeah.
That's
pass.
pretty cool,
Yeah,
honestly.
You know?
Morgan.
I want
Morgan is on
that
land.
warrior
I want to be
death.
covered in
And-
cockroaches.
No.
I want to do that. I want to be alive for that, actually.
I will pass a
wanna be
law
covered
that
in
says
cockroaches.
no cockroaches.
They cover you in
Acanthus.
cockroaches and then they kill you.
And
Yeah.
then they kill you.
Yeah.
I
and
want
then
the
they
cockroaches to
kill
kill
you.
me.
And then the cockroaches
I want them
feed
to
on
invent
your body.
predatory
Cannabis.
cockroaches that just eat me.
Invent
So awesome.
predatory cockroaches.
Invent me a cockroach, sir.
Invent me a cockroach.
Commission cockroach.
I'd like a cockroach.
Excuse me, sir. I'll
It's
take your
20
finest cockroach. On the debit.
I want premium cockroach.
$25 for predatory cockroach, please.
Why do you sound so scared and uncertain?
Because that's how on Instagram artists who do commissions and stuff. That's how I
Oh.
picture the DM when some random 12-year-old DMs someone with
12-year-old.
over 1 million followers. And
That's
they're
actually that's real.
Can I please do
Yeah,
a
you gotta be
commission
polite as hell when you're doing
for,
that shit. It's nerve-wracking.
yeah.
So real. Do you still like Dwight? Do you still see him as a role model?
Somewhat. I'm gonna be honest. What's that sound for?
Dwight K.
Dwight
Schrute.
Quay.
Quay.
Dwight K. Schrute.
He's your role model.
He's one of them. I have many.
I suppose his drive,
Yeah.
his ambition could be admirable, you know.
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
his glasses.
Yeah.
But anything else of him? No.
No.
Why did you go into a connection?
Oh, his
No.
devotion, I suppose, his loyalty.
Oh.
That is also respectable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, his loyalty, his devotion,
Yeah,
his ambition,
his
drive,
intelligence.
his intelligence. He's super intelligent.
I like his brother because he's funny.
Mose.
Mose.
Love
I-
Mose.
People,
You're such
people,
a Mose.
Yeah, I am. People always said I was such a Mose.
You are
I do paint in
Mose.
the dark. And write fear on the tape. I would wear something
I
like that.
picture they're trying to park the car and he's just running alongside
Yeah, that's so
it as they're
me.
trying to.
Such a kid
I keep accidentally scaring people just by walking up behind them. Or not even walking up behind them on purpose and stuff. I just walk into a room and I'm there waiting for people, not even really to notice me, but I'm just there observing stuff, and then they get scared because they're like, "Oh, where did you come from?"
Yeah.
And it's
It's
just
because you're so little and quiet
yeah,
and stealthy.
I've always been told I'm
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
quiet person.
Yeah, you are.
When I walk,
Yeah.
my dad even said I have friends who are as short as you and stuff, and they just stomp around, and you are
See, there are dwarves, and then there are small people.
hobbits. I'm a
hobbits.
hobbit.
You
I'm
are a
burglar.
hobbit.
I'm a master burger hobbit.
Yeah,
I'm a
I've
master
been-
burger.
Master burger.
I'm a master bait.
Whoa there.
I've been told that
Yeah.
when I walk, I make a specific sound.
Get up and walk right now.
The mic will pick it up. It's so loud. It's just...
It's very shuffled.
Very hasteful.
Yeah.
It's me walking. Yeah.
With
I
these
wish
shoes
more
on.
people marched when they would go places.
Everyone
I wish more people
marches.
skipped when they go to places. It's so much
Dude,
more. Like,
It's faster.
It's funner.
It's more fun. You get more. You
Was
probably
it-
get a
was
lot
it-
of exercise skipping.
Yeah.
Probably burn a lot of calories.
Well, that's a good warm up if you're going to run.
Skip. I love skipping. I
Yeah.
skipped last
and you're,
night.
And you're more likely to be able to just like lead into a punch. I think when you're swinging your arms like that, it's like easier to just like reel back and punch someone if you need to.
Honestly.
When you're on the moon, I suppose you just skip around the entire time.
I'd love that. I want
Yeah.
to go to the moon just to skip.
Yeah.
Skip and then never return.
Shoot up into the
Like skip up into the air and gone.
Out
It
of the
reminds me
moon's
late,
atmosphere.
of late to meeting or late to work or whatever. You remember that mannequin that was like running around and got floated off with balloons and stuff? It's,
I don't
It's an
know.
old thing from my childhood. I remember it was
Oh.
infamous.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, we should talk about our role models.
Yeah.
Should mention those.
I have quite a few role models. I know you have a lot of role models.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. One of my role models is probably Aubrey Plaza.
Real, yes.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon, John Mulaney. Probably just like a lot of like comedians and like
Celebrities.
funny people.
Funny people are really.
Funny people are
cool.
good role models.
Yeah, I value.
You know who's funny? Bill Cosby. You know what happened to him? He touched people.
Oh, okay. Not Bill Cosby. You know, unproblematic, funny people. Yeah. People.
Define problematic.
Not
People
touching
who
people.
don't touch people.
That's fair.
People who don't.
No touchy touchy.
You know, people who don't be racist. People who don't be sexist. Things that cause problems.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Who else? Obama. Like, you know,
What do you know about Obama?
I love Obama.
Tell me something you know about Obama.
I liked the Fleabag scene with Obama.
Me too. That was funny. Obama was a really good president. You know?
What did he do?
He was in 2 terms. People liked him.
Okay.
People liked him.
So you just follow what people like. Okay.
Oh.
Sorry. No.
What the fuck?
I'm not. I'm aggressive today. Being a bit too sassy for myself. Sorry.
Who are your role models?
Oh, horrible people.
Harvey
Problematic
Weinstein.
people.
Actually, technically, yes.
Yeah? Like
I
even-
mean, they were regarded as, you know, a little bit on the line.
Adolf Hitler, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Harlan Ellison is my number one.
Oh,
forever.
yeah.
Harlan Ellison, brilliant writer, author, storyteller. He
Yeah.
liked being called a storyteller more than anything. He wrote for Star Trek and stuff like that. He was awarded the Grand Master of Science Fiction and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
He was just a genuinely amazing person. And at the time, he was super controversial because he was against a bunch of the things that people nowadays have come to accept as actually, you know, like good and things like that.
Yeah.
He was really against racism. He wrote a lot of
Scandalous.
yeah. He was
No.
he wrote a lot of like racially diverse characters and things like that. Started including more like African American people into his writing and things like that. And people saw that as an attack in general on certain things.
Oh
and,
yeah, because he was around when like segregation and like racism was like kind of hot on the.
Yeah.
It was a trendy.
Hot Topic had a
Yeah.
lot of like KKK,
And
stuff at
he
the
also
time.
he got into a fight
Yeah.
with Frank Sinatra at a bar.
That's right. I
Which is
told
kind of
you about
awesome.
that. Do you remember I told you about that?
Why I vaguely remember. Tell me about the story.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Tell us the story. Yeah, I told him about because he's in love with Frank Sinatra.
Oh yeah,
And,
Frank Sinatra like
So I
walked
told
in.
him about how Frank Sinatra got punched in
Yeah,
a bar
yeah.
by
Harlan-
Harlan Ellison.
Yeah, Harlan Ellison was hanging out at a bar just minding his own business and stuff. and he was playing in the pool or something like that. He was just hanging out. Frank Sinatra comes in and starts, I don't know, like sizing him up. I forget exactly what he did, but he was doing some sort of thing where he's like playing big man and stuff. He had a bodyguard or whatever, you know. He was kind of like that mobster kind of, you know, guy. And Harlan.
So what are you doing here? You know, Frank Sinatra.
He sang it.
Every time he speaks, he sings.
Harlan didn't back down, which was unknown to Frank Sinatra, mostly for the most part, because he like killed people who did that. So a lot of people started.
He did not.
I mean,
He was
Frank
not a
Sinatra
mobster.
he
killed
reprimanded
people.
them.
He did not.
He
Yeah, we have a
He-
Frank
he
Sinatra
knew
fan
some
here and a
people.
Harlan Ellison fan.
He knew
here.
some people, yes, but they didn't go missing after he disagreed with them.
Well, Harlan Ellison did disagree with him. Kind of started sizing him up back,
Oh.
and Frank Sinatra got a little mad. I can't actually remember if he punched him or not, but they definitely got into an altercation. It did get a little bit physical. I think Frank
Damn.
Sinatra called his bodyguard on Harlan, and Harlan did some kind of funny move or whatever, escaped.
The little
Tuck
wiggle.
and roll.
Yeah, and
He just zipped on out of there.
oh, then Frank Sinatra had like this thing written on him afterwards, because Harlan met up with a news reporter at the time, Gay Talese, who was like.
Gay.
He was really well known at the time. He was a very
Just
respected. He was a very respected news reporter and stuff, a journalist. And he talked to Harlan Ellison afterwards, like warning him and stuff like that, and saying
Yeah.
that he'd write something on Frank Sinatra, kind of like a little thing for Harlan. And that's how Frank Sinatra Has a Cold was written and things like that.
Oh,
As
wow.
kind of exposing him, I think, if I remember correctly, about some of his behaviors that were a little iffy.
Frank Sinatra's behaviors?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
What did he do? Tell me.
He was a drinker. That's it.
He was an alcoholic.
Yeah, but everybody was.
He was an abuser.
No.
I don't know. I just remember Harlan faced
Here,
up against
let's
a lot
find
of
out,
people.
though.
It was controversial.
No, we don't have to do it now.
I want to find out.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
What
Story.
did Frank Sinatra...
I could be remembering it incorrectly. It's been a bit since I've read
I do
it.
know
Wrong.
that Sinatra got an altercation with Donald J. Trumpish.
Ooh.
Makes sense. He paid a doctor $40,000 to declare him medically unfit for World War II service.
Oh.
Yes, that's true.
He had anger issues,
Yeah.
investigated by the FBI.
Well, he was blacklisted because they thought he was a commie.
Oh.
Look up Frank Sinatra versus Harlan Ellison.
The epic battle.
Epic rap battles of history.
There was an awesome episode on that. It was Frank Sinatra versus Freddie Mercury. It was so good. I love that one. Because
Oh
at
my
the time, I
God.
was, big Freddie Mercury, big Queen, and then big Frank Sinatra. And like
Frank Sinatra
Freddie was like
versus-
saying
oh,
"Golly
here's
Dega."
Frank Sinatra versus
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. Frank Sinatra versus Harlan Ellison. Harlem Globetrotters. Harlan Ellison.
Versus the entire team.
Frank Sinatra versus
Shoes
Europe.
irritated Frank. Harlan Ellison's shoes irritated Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that was.
Harlan Ellison's outfit bothered Sinatra so much that he walked over to the rider as he played pool. Look, is there any reason why you're talking to me? Ellison asked. I don't like the way you're dressed, Sinatra responded.
Like, what the
I don't know. 'Cause
He didn't like his
I
outfit.
don't know about that.
It was on cheatsheet.com. Credit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or a
Harlan
pair of
was very
shoes.
outspoken with his beliefs and everything. He was a very well-known misanthropist. He did not
Yeah.
like humanity, and I
Yeah.
agree with that. I don't like humanity either. I agree
Yeah.
with him with that. He went through a lot of hardships, mostly because he started himself, but he did like this whole story on his marriage and how it ended, and then like turned that into a sci-fi thing of how he was handling his emotions. And I was like, oh, this is too real, because I had just gotten out of like a big breakup and stuff, and I was like, this man knows how to put it right.
This is my breakup idol.
This is-
you know?
yeah, my breakup idol.
Everyone has a breakup idol. You know, it's
Yeah.
like after you get like dumped or something, you find like somebody who has
Right.
the same story or like
Mine was
a close story.
9mm bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, someone you kind of like like whether it's an artist or an actor, like a storyteller, an author.
You just get lost in their work for a little bit. Yeah, Harlan is just, he was really awesome. I wish I could have met him, and I think him and I are just kind of like, we would have gotten along.
How did Harlan Ellison die?
I think he just died in his home, like.
In his home?
Of old age.
Like a loser? Kidding. That was a joke. I'm sorry.
Failure.
He died in his mind, his brilliant percolating mind. Or whatever.
Yeah. If you want to get deep with it.
Him, Harlan Ellison, number one. Second, who else do I actually look up to? Damn.
Dan TDM.
Dan TDM.
I hated Dan TDM. I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't like him.
Yeah, me neither. I was more of a.
Jake Paul.
I mean,
no. Leave.
GLaDOS, in a way, I do kind of look up to.
GLaDOS
but
from
in a different,
Portal?
Yes.
Yep, I remember. You're bringing me back now.
I think she's really cool. I like her.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh, do you have a crush?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. I want her to crush me.
Without a doubt.
Jeez, I don't really have too many role models. I mean, Harlan Ellison. I like Deadpool. I think he's funny. And
I like Spider-Man.
I like people who are witty. I wish I had that level of wit.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Witty.
Tony Stark.
Witty people.
I wish I could be like Tony Stark. So him. Also, Charlie Kelly from It's Always Sunny. I think he is kind of an inspiration. I think he's fucking awesome. Yeah.
I want to be able to walk into a restaurant. I want to walk into a restaurant with a Ziploc bag full of spaghetti. Can I eat this?
Yeah.
It's like a McDonald's.
He's pretty awesome. Who else? Oh yeah, I would kind of say Albert Wesker, but in a mixed way. I think that we also kind of agree on some certain things, which I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, but I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who?
Albert Wesker from Resident Evil. That's pretty much it. I think it's evil people.
Evil people.
People that a lot of people see as controversial and stuff, but are mostly just like
misunderstood.
Yeah, that's a better word.
Yeah, they're just misunderstood.
Misunderstood freakazoids.
Freakazoids, right. Yeah, I know some of your main role models.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of that Julius Caesar guy.
I am a big fan of that Julius Caesar guy. Pretty much the primary ones, like the big ones, because all the role models that I have are ones that I look up to and try to replicate in my own life. You know, like Julius Caesar's one, his ambition for power and his strength and charisma, which led him to be, you know, the first man in Rome. You know, and his name is now immortalized forever. You know, that's something to strive for. That's something to praise. So him, Alexander the Great, you know, those two historically monumental people. You got people like Odysseus from the Odyssey. He's wise, he's strong, he's dedicated, honored, you know. Then you got people like real life people. And you got like John F. Kennedy, you know, my favorite president. Cool. Honestly,
he is
led a whole new era of Americans.
He's my favorite president.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Probably led America to its golden age, you know, at the time.
Yeah,
you know, you got people from all different spots in history. Like there's Erwin Rommel, who I'm a big fan of, who's a general, you know, respected by his enemies and admired by his. You know, his friends, you know, and that's type of stuff that I look to, you know. It's those big men that make the difference, you know, that will forever be remembered, you know, and that's my guide as role models. And then there's Frank Sinatra, like the debonair, the style, the class of him, you know, really speaks out to me, and so I am fascinated by that part, you know. And it's those people that. Yeah, I really like.
Yeah, I think entrepreneurial people are, in general, something I look up to, and I want to be able to just make my own stuff and have it be unique. That's the individualist coming at me.
Yeah.
But I forgot to mention Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Yeah, then might as well. Anakin Skywalker for me.
Real, yeah.
Yeah, I like Princess
General
Leia.
Grievous, 100%. Oh, I love General Grievous.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. This is a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can mention Death of Optimus Prime.
Death of Optimus Prime.
Can I yell the N-word?
We're gonna put a pin in that.
We're gonna.
They're gonna tear it down, crumple it up, burn it, throw the ashes in the
I
garbage.
mean, I can't say Neverland. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look at how loud that is on the audio.
You
Jeez.
should blur it, and so
I'll
it's.
just-
And then you end it. And then you end the podcast.
the episode's
I
over.
remember- We never really talked about how other people's deaths affected us.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really
Yeah.
run into many family deaths, but I do remember the first death I ever actually full on, like, cried over was Optimus Prime in the Bayverse movies, nonetheless. So like, it's kind of like shameful for me. But I remember when I was younger, I really didn't understand death full on. And then when I experienced it with Optimus Prime, where he died in that movie, it broke me for some reason because I was like, I saw him as my father figure in a way. And I was like, oh shit.
My dad is dead.
My dad is dead. I had like an obsession with how it made me feel for a while too. I'd get up at like 4 a.m. every morning and I'd put it on the movie and I'd watch the entire movie and I'd just like watch it just so I could see him die so I could cry about it. Cause like I don't know.
It's the only way you could feel anything.
Yeah, it was the only way I could feel anything. It was if I had to watch Optimus Prime die. That went on for weeks. It was really weird. And then I got over it, and I was like, okay, yeah, death's a thing now. It's like how I coped.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, like the biggest probably I don't know. Like the only really big death in my life of like somebody that I knew personally that I've dealt with was like I don't know. It's gonna sound really I don't know bad, but the death of my dog.
That
That was
I
literally
had,
what I
that's
was
really-
gonna say.
Yeah, that I had like forever,
Losing
my
a
whole
pet
life.
is hard.
Yeah, it was probably the hardest, like my biggest, I don't know, one of my biggest hardships in life was having to put my dog down.
That's your
Ooh,
best
you had to
friend,
put it
man's
down?
best friend.
Yeah, we had to put it down. His legs, he was like 17 years
Oh,
old.
she killed the dog.
I didn't kill the dog.
Jumped on the dog.
That
and broke
was
the legs.
the other dog.
That
okay,
she killed.
that was the other dog.
She
This
killed
is a
2
different
dogs.
I killed one dog. This dog, Toby, I mean,
Maguire.
yeah, he
Toby
No correlation.
My dog was Toby Maguire.
She
just
killed
imagine,
Tobey
like,
Maguire.
a guy's face on a dog's body.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to wrap up.
Well, I'm Coriana. And I'm Kit. And that's all, folks.
You changed my voice right now. That sounded shitty.
Please get out. My name is Merrick Habecker. All right, well, thank you for listening to today's episode.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you
You're
later.
welcome for having
See you later,
me. Merrick Habecker, everybody.
freakazoids.
Follow me on Instagram at
Oh,
Merrick
that's
_